Okay, it's the technical analysis chart review for the micro ES for 5/23/2019, Thursday. So, full disclosure, I've been showing you all week long my trades in the micro ES. You can see that I took some hits today. I got 3 losing trades. I only had a 72% hit rate, 11 trades. This was totally avoidable, but greed is a real emotion, and I tried to squeeze too much and let it come back out. I left so much money on the table today. Incredible. But full disclosure, these were my trades. If this would have been the regular ES, this would have been a $570 day, $575 day. Just to put it out there. And so I'm going to go over these locations here, but first I'm going to play you the pre-market video that I did this morning so you can see my calls. So be right back. So on the daily, you've got this node right here, 23, 19, and 13. The 13 looks really good. It matches up with this node over here, so you know that there's a lot of volume all the way across. We've had a bounce right off of this area before, so I would definitely keep 13 right there on your list. Okay, so we said 23, which was right here, so it was right at this line. So it didn't quite reach it right there, and it had a little bounce. 19 is right here, and so you would have had this bounce all the way up to 23 if you would have took that. And I said 23, no, 19, 23, 19, and 13. And 13 was right here, and you would have got that move all the way up to 19, so that would have been a 6-point trade right there. So just to see how I went from a daily chart down to literally a 2,000 tick chart, and called the levels for the bounces. This one, I didn't quite reach there. If I would have dug in a little bit harder probably, but I was just kind of going real quick there. But anyways, let's look. So weekly, we've got a big down move now. We've got a pretty good strong bounce at the end of the day, but we're right into this node. We've got a lot of nodes up above right now, so I actually think it's positive. I keep on saying that, but we got a big red bar, but I'll show you why here in a minute. Big daily bar all the way down, touch the bottom of the node right there, and we're bouncing up here into this big node again, and you can see it on both sides right here. Not a whole lot to talk about right at this point on the daily. I'm going to skip probably the 240. Doesn't really show you any detail. 60 minute. 60 minute, I thought it was kind of interesting, so we drew in these levels this morning. Full range extension, made it all the way down here, stopped right on the high volume node, and made a reversal out of there. And right now we're right back into the full range extension up here top, bouncing off of this area. Not sure if there's anything. We had some great volume. Look at that last bar on there on the buy. People got in, so that was huge, the way that they moved that market back up to save it at the end of the day. Again, we've got a lot of nodes up here, especially the bottom of this thing right here that's tying in with this. We'll see how that plays tomorrow morning. Sells off intraday. Levels were working okay, right? Weakness, traveled all the way across. Didn't quite make all the range extension until I got all the way down here, but the bounce back into this levels definitely had a good sell. Almost all the way back up, another good sell. Even if you would have took it here, you would at 23.25, 25.75, you would have took just over 2 points of heat if you would have tried to take that as a scalp. But you can see that this was back right into this volume node, and if we would have probably put a profile across there, you can see it was right into the high volume on the node right there. Back down across, hit the line. Look at that trade right there. That would have been a beautiful one if you would have took that. Back into the line for support, hits the line. This was a chop fest right here. Broke out again, back down into this node right here. If we put a volume across here, you can see that we came right into the high volume of this node right here. So the bounce, the bottom of the node's like down here, and that's this piece right here. So we finally tested that, broke through, and we were gone all the way to the bottom. And let me just get rid of that guy. We'll use this arrow. Back up into the volume node right here. So if we probably move this guy over, you can see how that lined up right with the high volume across that node, right? And then sold off again, bounced back up to the line, sold again. I mean, the lines were pretty good today, right? And never quite made it down to the bottom down here. Just a little bit shy right there. And really kind of a chop fest for this. So there's a good lesson here. And I got kind of caught in this. So if you take a look at this, look at this. We are selling all day. But you look at the delta down here, it's going up all day long. We went from a negative 13 all the way up to 14. 27,000 contracts bought on a down day. I mean, the delta wasn't really negative at all. So that's why I think that, we could have a pretty positive day, especially this spike here at the end. They no fear. They're willing to get in and buy this market at the end of the day, even after that sell-off. But look at the delta. So what was happening here was, you really have to kind of imagine this, is that people were like literally buying this market, and they kept on buying, and it kept on going down, and they had to keep on buying more in order to average in. And every time they averaged in, they would set their stops. It would go up, hit the limit, and it would trigger their sell limits, right? And so they were basically having to double down this whole way to get out. The buys were strong. They kept on buying, but they were selling on the limit in order to get out. And so that's why you had this down day on a positive delta. And it wasn't to the end where they just kind of gave up and overwhelmed that it shot right here. But that's why it could just never, the market could never get up, even though it was positive delta. They were buying all day. It's because everybody was off sides and basically having to double down and then immediately sell whatever profit that they made. Every little bounce they were selling it in order to get out, because everybody was underwater. So that's just the power of the trend, right? When it happens like that. So the symmetry, very active day, got lots of bars. We had drawn in the levels early on, but they went right down to the very end right here. You can see again, a lot of the levels on the symmetry work just fine. So I'm not going to really talk too much about it. I always talk about this stuff, but it works great. And I don't really have much else to tell you. I did a chart lesson yesterday, so if you want more on the volume node kind of chart lessons type stuff, go check out yesterday's chart review. And because I went over trading against the nodes pretty well in depth. And I will catch you in the morning. Hope you had a good day.